SVC Media.
Welcome to the iGaming Daily podcast, analysing the news from the betting and gaming industry all over the globe, supported by Optimove, the #1 CRM marketing solution for the iGaming market.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of iGaming Daily, sponsored by Optimove. Today I will not be your host. Sad as it might say, listeners, please don't tune off on that news, but I thought it would be great just to give a nice introduction to Julian Pitts, the relationship manager at SBC. Julian will be hosting his own Affiliate Leaders podcast under the iGaming Daily banner. But before we get into that, it's time to mention our supporter of the iGaming Daily podcast, which is Optimove, the #1 CRM marketing solution for the iGaming market. 56% of the EGR Power 50 personalized player experiences with Optimove. And for those visiting ICE, mention that you listened to our episode of iGaming Daily and you will receive a Amazon gift card. So Julian, good luck. I'll pass over to you and I'm looking forward to hear what both you and your guest have to say. Take it away.
Hello and welcome to the Affiliate Leaders Show by iGaming Daily, sponsored by Optimove. And following on from my previous episode, I'm once again joined by Peter Gunni to look further into the affiliate marketing sector. In today's episode, we're going to be traversing through the secrets of a well-equipped affiliate and what is in their toolkit, as well as how affiliates craft a user-friendly site. Peter, before we jump into the nitty-gritty of part 2, can you share a favorite quote that inspires you in your professional life?
Yeah, thank you, Julian, for having me back on the Affiliate Leaders Show. I don't actually have a quote from anyone famous. There might be someone who have said this before, but I don't know who. I read it somewhere, I guess, and then it just stuck with me. I kind of use in chaos we find creativity, because that is something I use on a everyday level. And in the affiliate sphere, it's a lot of chaos, and usually you find a lot of creativity, seeing people running around headless or crazy ideas popping up, and yeah, I just love to sit in that and just figure out what's up and down.
That's dope. I like that one. I'm probably going to steal it as well. So
that's fine.
So when you first entered the affiliate space, obviously in the last episode we touched on, it's been around 6-7 years for you. What tools were on offer and how have they evolved over the years for an affiliate?
Wow. I mean, I don't even remember if we used any tools. I guess I clearly remember us using no tools and doing a lot of statistics in-house. I clearly remember when we had to get monthly stats in, we had to lock down the office for a full week to log into every affiliate system and figure out how much we actually earned from each source.
God.
So that was tough. That was really tough. And we were like 20 people just sitting in, typing into the same sheet. To figuring out how well we did and what brands were performing and which weren't. So yeah, now I'm super blessed today, but we actually have systems that does that for us.
Mm-hmm. So we might touch on it a little bit later, but so in terms of that actual transition or evolution over those years, more so now, give me one kind of piece of kit that you like using the most.
Not to have like a biased opinion about the systems, but I would say Vonix and StatsDrone, they're really good systems, and they have saved me so much time and headaches throughout the years. So yeah, thanks to them.
I will make sure the message is passed on as well. So with the amount of operators that you do work with, often across different partner programs, tracking platforms, how do you and your team approach this when streamlining the daily operations to ensure that nothing falls between the cracks?
So it is extremely challenging, and it is one of the headaches that there is in this industry because the amount of products out there is insane. We have so many operators right now. I think we are past like 4,000 mark in terms of operators, wow, which is insane. It's just been bulking up throughout the years. But we have actually developed all our systems ourselves. So we have something called the Meisters, which in reality we use as a term for all our systems, where we plot in every brand, every operator, all details about them. And we've structured each point to be a data point. So we have the teams going in and then putting out that data. And then we create different boards to figure out if stuff is being left behind. So in reality, that works in a way that when a sales guy plug in a brand on a position, then in the board it would actually say if that brand is adequate or not adequate to be on that list. If the list is about, let's say, Visa payment, and they plug in a different brand that don't have the Visa payment in the system, it will clearly show on the boards that these don't meet search intent. And those are the kind of boards we have for most of our operations to make sure that we don't do anything that is against our mantra of working.
Gotcha. I mean, that's truly covering all bases, right? When you put it like that. Nice. So before we hit a quick ad break and move on to the second part of today's show, Peter, what do you think affiliates actually need within their toolkit to be a success in today's sector?
Well, a link system is really needed. Figuring out how links are working, where they're set up, that is a need to have basis. If you're doing email, paid media, or SEO or programmatic, links are vital to figuring out where you're earning money and where you are not. So having a proper link system is really important. And I think also there's some great tools out there that can do it really cheap as well if you don't want to build it yourself. Then I would say once you're growing a bit and once you get past these like 50 brands, 50 operators, you need a stat system. Like logging into all of these every day, seeing how it's going, that's not going to work out. You need something where you can log in and see everything at once. A stat system is really good. And they also have pricing models for smaller affiliates out there, so it's not that expensive.
Brazil, a global economic powerhouse, deeply passionate about sports, and now home to one of the hottest markets in gaming. And we're giving it the full SBC treatment. Join industry leaders, market experts, and all the major players in the country for 3 days of content, exhibition, and epic networking at the first ever SBC Summit Rio.
Welcome back to the final part of today's podcast and our journey with Peter. So, as mentioned in the introduction, we are now going to round off the show looking into the best ways of crafting a user-friendly affiliate site. Peter, can you guide us through the do's and don'ts when it comes to creating an affiliate site from your own experience? What worked and what didn't?
Yeah, so first off, before we have like the general do's and don'ts, I would say do something different. Look what's out there and maybe find a way to create a site where you are thinking in a different way. Like actually in Denmark, where currently TravelUp is not doing a lot of business, there are some great affiliates out there who are looking at bonuses on a day level, which is really cool. So you log in and then you see Monday's bonus for people who are returning. That could be something that's really cool. It could be community-based, which is a heavy investment, but maybe do it in a different way. In general, do's and don'ts, I would say prioritize your user experience. It is the people visiting the site that is the most important. Having a responsive design that's mobile optimized, and that is you need to get that in order. Providing valuable informational content and engaging content is important as well. You need to have that in order to make sure that they stay on the site and convert on the site. What I would, for everything, just don't do, I would never overwhelm the users with excessive ads or pop-ups. I think it's like it's like peeing your pants. It's warm at the get-go and then it gets really cold. And it's the same with the money, to be honest. Like these pop-ups, you will see an uptick in conversions and then you're gonna be like, oh, it all comes crashing down. And that's gonna affect the site speed and performance as well. So you're gonna get a penalty there. So that would be like the don'ts.
So again, that would sort of leading me into the next question, but we'll see what else we can get out of you again. So there is obviously an abundance of different websites out there, as you've mentioned. Some are simply a visit and click, whereas others will give the user a more all-round experience and a true journey. Do you find there is a link between how you attract and retain the user in relation to the type of site they are visiting? So I always use it as the easy example, but top10casinos.com, you have no content and it's just a list of different casinos, opposed to one which is actually giving the player a full all-round sort of user journey, let's say.
I think it's quite crucial to figure out what kind of role you want to play in the business. If you want to be a site that's just in between the operator and the user, which many affiliates are, you're there to show some products and for them to get in and out. You actually want the user to move forward as fast as possible, because the user is in general maybe not looking just to stay on the site to get content. Maybe they're looking for casino or for sports betting. So that could be a way of thinking, and then that's a valid way of thinking, I would say. Then there is a lot of sites out there which wants to retain users on the site and maybe not convert them as fast, looking maybe for loyalty based, which also works. And I think finding what you think is the most fun way of working and then creating a site for that is important.
Lovely. So now making it again more specific to yourself and Traffic Lab, how do you implement your strategies for presenting the key details to the user without overwhelming them?
So we have every page on a site is categorized by our team for what kind of search intent it's evolving, which could be, as we mentioned, Visa earlier, where we're then looking for, okay, what kind of topics is there about Visa? So obviously people are looking for a payment method tied to a casino. So the amount of time being for the payment to get to the casino, the withdrawal time is maybe really important. It could be the limits of how much you can pay there and withdraw is really important. So figuring out what kind of metrics are important. And we usually use only 4 key metrics here, which could be a bonus and a no deposit bonus and maybe something else. And then we create a list for each individual search intent for our site. And then our sites department can technically just go in and say, this is about Visa. They click on it, and then the list will automatically appear just for that search intent.
All right. Nice. So to round off this epic 2-part appearance that we've had with you, Peter, and I'll be asking this to every guest I have on, and I know you're looking forward to this question. If you could switch careers for a day, what would you do and why?
Oh, I think it's really, really difficult. We just talked about this in the break, and I mean, I would say if I could be a full-time dad, I would do it in a heartbeat. I mean, I would stay home and I would make the best. I love cooking. I would just make the best food for them every day. If I could do that for full-time, I would do it. But before I had kids, I actually dreamed of being a forester. And I spoke with a couple of like coaches throughout the years, and they all told me it's probably because you're too stressed, so you're looking for a more boring job. And I was like, I could walk in the forest every day, figuring out what tree needs to be cut, how the forest is going, and getting paid for that. I mean, that sounds like a dream to me. So that could be a thing.
Do you think it's something that you may ever...
No. Not at all. I don't think so. Yeah, no. But maybe a full-time dad.
That would be nice, eh? I think that's a very good answer for the first time to be. I've asked it. That's a top answer. So I'll give you that.
Nice.
Listen, Peter. Once again, thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us on our inaugural Affiliate Leaders episode on iGaming Daily, sponsored by Optimove. And of course, thank you to those listening in. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for listening to today's iGaming Daily podcast, supported by Optimove, the #1 CRM marketing solution for the iGaming market. If you want to find out more about some of the subjects raised today, feel free to explore any of the sites in the SBC News Network or check out the latest edition of the SBC Leaders magazine. Happy reading.